I was thinking about Jalen Phillips, good player. Goes from spiraling out of control Miami to Philadelphia. Sauce Gardner goes from the abysmal, hapless Jets to the Colts. Rashid Shaheed hooks back up with his offensive coordinator in New Orleans, goes from the lost, woeful Saints to the Seahawks. I think all three players are going to crush. And it's three of my favorite GMs, Howie Roseman, Chris Ballard, John Schneider, great GMs. So when people say, they say this a lot, well, you gave up too much. Be careful. First of all, Philly needed an edge rusher. They're like bottom 6 in sacks, bottom 7 in sacks. The Colts needed a corner. Look at the Colts' schedule in the next 5 weeks. They're facing a lot of number one receivers. They need an elite corner. In Seattle, too much of their offense through the air was JSN. They needed another perimeter weapon. But when people say, oh, you gave up, it's first-round picks. So instead of just crossing your fingers and hoping next year the first-rounders play, let's go back to this past first round. 2 players in the first round are crushing. Playmakers today. 2 of 32. Tyler Warren, who Chris Ballard drafted, tight end Colts, all-pro level tight end, and Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver Tampa. Productive, dynamic. They are professional football players and high-end players. 2 of 32 in the first round. There's another 6, 7 guys who are good. They're not Sauce Gardner or Jalen Phillips productive. So again, windows close very quickly in professional football. Strike when the iron is hot is a term used in every industry. And I look at Rashid Shaheed and Jalen Phillips and Sauce Gardner. All of those guys fill a small hole on good rosters. Somebody told me this years ago. They're like, everybody loves draft picks. But if you have a really good roster like the Philadelphia Eagles, how many spots are available in the draft? I mean, you're the Colts. How many guys can you draft? Tyler Warren hits. There's only 2 or 3 spots that a second, third rounder could even make that. That's why they gave up first-round picks. Philly, Seattle, and Indy have 3 of the top 6 rosters in the sport. And if you like your quarterback, and all of them apparently do, all right, you give up first-round picks. So I like aggressive GMs, maybe to a fault. Here's Jalen Phillips. I'm going from Miami to Philly.
I thought I was excited day one. I mean, talk to me now. Like, this is literally the greatest thing that's happened to me in my whole life, probably.
Yeah, it's got some Mekhi Becton crying with confetti at the Super Bowl vibes. I mean, Philly always does things right. I got the chills just saying that with Mekhi Becton because he was talking about how Philly treated me like I was drafted here. Because again, for those of you who don't know, like, you just get treated differently whether or not like you're a round pick, second round pick, third, fourth, whether you're actually drafted by the team versus, being acquired. And Philly always does that right. But I mean, I don't think a single soul is saying that the Philadelphia Eagles gave up too much or anything like that. Howie Roseman knocked us out of the park. These moves that Howie made are all reward, zero risk. Like, the risk is literally non-existent. You literally essentially gave up like nothing, or what you did give up. If Jalen Phillips is not who you want to move forward with, it's like no harm, no foul. So it's like you're like, talk about risk and reward. Like what the Cowboys did, like that's risky. Even what the Colts did, which I respect the move and I appreciate the move. There just seems to be like some debate on how good Sauce Gardner is. If he's great and elite and proven and who you want him to be, then it's fine. The picks, whatever. You're trying to win right now. But if there's like, he's not quite what we thought he was, well, then you gave up a mess. You gave up a huge price for. And that's not what the Eagles found themselves. And Howie Roseman has always done so brilliantly at drafting and developing these players, having them be the foundation, and then making a combination of some huge moves to round out the roster, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, and then finding all the value the Darius Slay, the DeAndre Swifts, the Zach Bonds, CJ Gardner Johnsons, right? Like, he's so great at doing that. And then still finding the Cooper DeJeans, right? Like the Jalen Carters. It's why, we always talk about it's like, oh, it's a coach quarterback league. But like, I'd really love to one day really try to figure out, like, I mean, dude, you need someone to build this roster. You need a Howie Roseman. And so when Colin talks about the Super Bowl window closing, anytime you ever talk about a Super Bowl window closing and you talk about like your belief in a team, you can always get a little bit of angst, because I do believe, right? Everyone always thinks, like, I got in such a fight one time, such a back and forth in the comment section with someone with the Detroit Lions. And this guy was just so confident. He just had this way about him. And he was just talking about Super Bowl. The Lions aren't going to make any aggressive moves when Hutch went down, because they were just like, there's Super Bowl windows for the next 10 years. And I'm thinking to myself, what are you talking about right now? Like, you're gonna lose Ben Johnson. You're gonna lose your coordinators. Like, Jared Goff, is getting older. Like, I don't. Where do you think this Super Bowl window is guaranteed to be open for 10 years? And it was just the confidence in which he said it. I was just like, you have a chance to win now, and you have no idea what it's going to be in the future or not. And it's different when you have like a Patrick Mahomes at 27 or something, and an Andy Reid, and you just know, hey, as long as we don't get any catastrophic injuries, like, we are going to be legit. We are going to be elite. We are going to be special. Yeah, our rosters are going to change and we're going to ebb and flow, but we will always have the chance to get it done, right? And you feel that. And with the Eagles, with Howie Roseman, when this roster ages out, when it's time for Jalen Hurts to say, all right, it's time, it's time for me to be done. When Saquon Barkley is no longer Saquon, when AJ and Devontae have moved on to whatever they're doing, hosting podcasts, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, make sure you subscribe. They'll have probably some sort of great podcast together one of these days. Can't wait to listen. Can't wait to hear what they got to say. You can have the faith that Howie and Jeffrey Lurie will build something else special. If it proves that Nick Sirianni loses control of the team and can't coach it, you can have the faith that they will rebuild and retool and have another special team within the next few years. You can have the confidence that the Eagles aren't going to slip into a 10, 15, 20 year period of just nothing. Like we've seen the Lions do, like we've seen the Cowboys, like we've seen the Browns, all these other disaster teams. And so when you still even have this great young core of AJ, Devontae, Saquon, Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean, et cetera, you are in this position to take very, I don't even want to call them risks. I was going to say calculated risks, but just very calculated decisions. And I've been on this, and I've had to repeat this a few times now because we've been talking about the drafts. The Eagles, like, Howie wants to win this year. Obviously, you want to win every year, and you have the roster. And I do think it's probably widely believed that A.J. Brown will be moving on after this year. Whether you believe that or not, it's on the table. More on the table than I think maybe some people want to recognize. But with Howie Roseman, he's looking at this team right now, knowing that he can build this in many different ways, build out, go all in right now, but also be very smart and strategic over these next few years, where it's just like the way you win Super Bowls when you have a team that's built the way in which Philly is, especially after you have already won that Super Bowl, it changes how you're going to make decisions. It's all about saying, we're not trying to just go all in this one singular year and do everything we can to go back to back. It's really just about saying, I need to have a top 2, top 3. I have to have an elite. I need to have a great team over these next 2-3 years. Because then I'm betting on, hey, we get like 3 chances to bite at this apple. Which is exactly what happened with the Eagles, how they won the Super Bowl this past year. It was, I'm trying to, Howie's like, I'm trying to build a great team for 22, 23, and 24. And I'm betting on that at least one of those years, we're going to find a way to win the Super Bowl. And that's literally exactly what happened. Because 22, they had an amazing team. They had an elite team, and they didn't win. For whatever reason, it just didn't happen. For whatever direction you want to take on the why, it doesn't matter. It just didn't happen because that's football. That's what happens when it's single game elimination. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And so, like, to me, that has very much been Howie's approach. It's just like, I'm just trying to build the best possible team in these 2 to 3 year chunks and see what happens. I'm just betting that we're going to find our way to win. It's not about winning back-to-back. It's not about we have this narrow window. We only get 3 years. Go all in. Do all this. I'm trying to figure out. It's always trying to think about today and tomorrow. It's not sacrificing tomorrow for today, and it's not sacrificing today for tomorrow. It's very balanced. It's very calculated. It's very, it reminds me very much, for anyone who's ever played poker, you want to be like, there's philosophy. You have all these different ways to play poker. You can be really loose, you could be really aggressive, you could be really tight, you could be really conservative, and really ultimately the way that it's seen the best way to play is really this balance between being aggressive and conservative. That you want to be smart with the hands that you find yourselves in, and not just keep calling nonstop and not just keep jumping in to hands. But when you are in, you're aggressive, you're assertive, you're not playing weak. And it is really this kind of balance way. And in a lot of ways, like, that's kind of how you need to be in life in a lot of ways. And it really is how Howie operates. And you see it, and you see the success. So it is funny that Colin's kind of talking about some people talking about giving up too much or whatnot. I have not heard a single person talk about the Eagles making a bad move here. Now, again, some people, if anything, I've heard some people complain that it wasn't big enough, that Howie didn't take a big enough swing. They were like, he should have tried to get Myles Garrett or Max Crosby or, whatever. And it's just like, those moves are pretty much impossible, right? Not only because of the capital you have to give up, but just the amount of money that you'll have to pay. And now think about this player, Jalen Phillips, who's like, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Imagine if he has a lot of success with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's just say he has a tremendous amount of success. He can't wait. He is just over the moon. He is just like, oh my gosh. Let's say literally the best case scenario, they win the literal Super Bowl. Let's just say the best case scenario for Phillips specifically, he's the Super Bowl MVP. He gets 3 strip sacks and carries all 3 of them in for touchdowns, right? Like, literally just the most insane scenario to ever happen. He's going to be like, I want to be with Philly for the rest of my life. You guys literally have given me home. You have literally given me, it's like Zach Bond. It's like, you've given me everything I could ever dream of. He's going to want to be with Philly. He's going to want to work with Philly. He's going to be a foundation. He's going to be a culture. He's going to be another story that other free agents, other players are going to be like, I got to get to Philly. I got to get to Howie Roseman, Jalen Hurts, like Jalen Phillips. Like, I got to get to Philly. You continue that trend. You continue that trend like the Eagles have done with Saquon, AJ, Devontae, Jalen, Mekhi Becton, Mailata. You just got people who are just looking, being like, I got to find my way to Philly. Zach, the Zach Bonds. I got to find my way to Philly. When you're now going to potentially be drafted, you're like, I got to get myself to Philly. When you're a free agent and you're struggling with another team, or you're a great player who's just going nowhere on a team like Phillips and the Dolphins, you're just like, I got to get my agent to get me to Philly. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. There's a reason why Devontae Adams was like, I can pick kind of where I'm going to Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. Like, I need someone. I need competence. I need somewhere that's proven. No one's more proven than the Philadelphia Eagles right now. So, it's all great. It's all great from my viewpoint. No negatives. 0 notes. How you got no notes for me. I approve. And so does Colin. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles? Is Philly the most well-run team in the NFL. It's funny, I made that claim months and months and months ago when Colin tried to say that it was the Los Angeles Rams or even the Kansas City Chiefs, and I said absolutely positively not. It's clearly the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, they literally won 2 Super Bowls with 2 completely different rosters and 2 completely different coaching staffs. That's absolutely remarkable. That's absolutely insane. They have the second most playoff wins since 2002 to only Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles are the most well-run team in the NFL. They are. Preliminary thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.